Hi Aquarius, welcome to July. This is Teresa from tarotbyt.com. And before I do your forecast, I want to call in some good energy and create some sacred space around this reading. And I want to say thank you for liking and subscribing to my channel. Thank you for those who have taken the time out to leave comments. I really appreciate your feedback. And for those who have ordered readings, thank you again. I really value your support, and I'm glad that the readings have been of help to you. So let's see what's coming up in July for Aquarius. We have a new moon, a solar eclipse in Cancer on July 12th, and we have a full moon in your sign, Aquarius. And that will be on July 27th. Mars is retrograde. Mercury will be going retrograde, so it's going to be an interesting month. So let's see what the cards have to say about Aquarius. What does Aquarius need to know about love and relationships for the month of July? What does Aquarius need to know about relationships, love and relationships for the month of July? What is coming up for Aquarius? So let's see. The Fool. The Eight of Wands. The Eight of Cups. The Strength. The Death card. The King of Swords, the Magician, the Four of Swords, the Nine of Cups, and the Seven of Pentacles. So, the Fool. The Fool is about starting over, a new adventure. So you could be embarking on a new relationship in July. The Eight of Wands is, the arrows of love, things happening quickly. Speed, air, travel by air. So you could be, it's possible that doors are opening up for you. Opportunity. So you're going to have an opportunity for a new beginning in July. Especially, you have this eclipse in your sign. So things are going to come to a completion, a culmination by the end of the month. You may be starting a whole new adventure. And it could be career related too. There could be new opportunities in a career sense because of the wands to me. I mean, the wands could be the arrows of love, that's for sure. But I also feel like the wands sometimes also mean career opportunities. Doors that were once shut are now opening. So you're going to have several options to choose from. And things might be happening really quickly. So it could be something like you meet someone and feelings just develop really quickly, where you're falling in love or you're feeling strong emotion for someone. In a career opportunity, it could be that a job pops up out of nowhere, and they want you to start right away. It kind of unexpected opportunities, new energy, fresh energy is coming in July. And the Eight of Cups is in your past. So you've been kind of, you haven't been really happy with what you've been doing in the past, or you've been, like what, the Eight of Cups is walking away from something that was once fulfilling, but is no longer satisfying. So it could be a relationship where you once really cared about someone, but it's kind of reaching, you're coming to the end of the line with something, with that, and you're ready to move on. You're wanting something that's more meaningful, that you're wanting to be involved either in relationship that gives you more love, more meaning, that you're feeling more connected to, or even a career path. Sometimes the Eight of Cups is, walking away and moving on to a new career or a new location. You might even be thinking about moving, or maybe, changing your location. Maybe you're feeling like it's this moving on energy. Like, I'm not being fulfilled in my current situation. I need to move on. I need to do something else. I need to find fulfillment somewhere. And the Eight of Cups, so that might include, walking away from a relationship. Maybe you've done that already. And in July, there's like this new energy coming in. The Strength card is something that, that's a card of learning how to control your emotions, dealing with powerful feelings, learning how not to go to extremes of emotion or not to overreact to things. So you might have been working on that aspect of yourself. Sometimes the Strength card can mean needing counseling or dealing with issues around anger. And so you've been working on that. And you're kind of getting a grip. In some instances, though, the Strength card could mean that in the past, you were dealing with someone who was wounded. And you were there to offer compassion and caring. You're helping someone out who has been suffering. But that is kind of ending. Because I feel, or you could have been in a relationship where someone was kind of difficult and you're feeling like you had to tame the beast, like you're dealing with someone that had the potential to hurt you. It wasn't like an easy relationship. Or there were a lot of passionate feelings involved in the relationship. Maybe you were hurting each other because of some childhood wounds. But I feel like that is ending. So you're coming to terms with the beast within yourself and learning how to deal with the beast in others. Learning how to not overreact, learning how to get your needs met without using force or anger, and learning to be more gentle, kinder. So you're going through some changes. With the Death card, it's kind of like dying to the past. There's a part of your life that no longer exists. So you're changing. The Death is like ending a cycle and getting ready for a new cycle or rebirth. And that involves clearing out the past, clearing out whatever's been holding you back, whatever is no longer serving you. It's like clearing out the basement, getting rid of the junk you haven't seen in years, or clearing out your closet, stuff you haven't worn in years. Like, what do I need all this stuff? Why am I carrying around all this baggage? It's time for me to make room for new, fresh energy, new energy. So it could have been that you were really attached to a lifestyle or an image of who you were, maybe even a relationship from the past. And now you're ready to put that to bed. You're laying it, you're kind of like leaving it behind. Sometimes the Death can mean when you're transitioning from being from single to married, or single to being in a relationship, or going from a relationship to a more committed situation. Your whole, like, your status is changing. Your way of life is changing. You're dying to an old way of life and you're being reborn. You're entering a new cycle. So to enter this new adventure and this new cycle, you've had to leave some things behind or lay some things to rest. That's how I'd like to describe it. Like letting go of the past. Letting the past rest in peace so that you can embrace the new. So that you're making room in your life for the new. Because maybe when you hold on to the past and you're not willing to accept that past life is over, you're preventing growth because you're living in the past. So I think in July, you're going to move away from that. Move away from past hurts, past sorrow, past whatever has been holding you back, so that you can start over. The Fool card is like wiping the slate clean, starting over. It's like a brand new adventure, a brand new situation. And you could really, you know, make a new start in July. You have the King of Swords here in the future. This could be someone that you're dealing with. It could be someone, but it could also be you, because the King of Swords could be an air sign. So that could be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So it could be qualities within you that you have to embrace, or it could be someone that you'll be dealing with. If it's a person, it's someone who is very trying to separate what's real from what's not real. Someone who's taking a very serious look at their life and trying to make a decision based on logic and not emotion. Saying, you know, I'm going to do what's best for me. I'm not just going to follow some crazy, you know, heart-centered dream. I'm going to look at things realistically and say, okay, I'm going to pick this because this is what makes sense right now. I'm focusing on what's logical, what's fair, what's right. You could be dealing with an authority figure that you feel is being a little bit harsh. Someone who's a little bit rigid. Maybe a little critical. Maybe someone who's expecting a lot from you. But it could also represent an attitude like where you have to really look at your life in a dispassionate way and make decisions based on common sense, not emotion. You know, to really separate, you know, okay, this is the pros and the cons. What am I going to do? Let me do what... I can't be lost in fantasy. I have to choose based on reality, logic. You know, show me the science. Show me the facts. If you're dealing with a King of Swords as a person, it could be someone who is harsh but fair. Someone who is ruled by science and logic, not by emotion, not by, you know, like not interested in the woo-woo stuff. You know, show me the studies, show me the science, show me the facts so that I'll believe that, but I'm not going to believe something just, you know, out of some type of fantasy. I want what's real. I want something that I can prove, something I can hold on to. So you're going to be taking more of a serious approach to life, I think, than you may have had in the past. Like you really want to create something, and you're serious about it. No messing around. You have the Magician here. This is someone who is very talented. You have a lot of talent. You have all the tools you need for success, but you may be lacking faith in yourself. You want to stay away from negative thinking, and you want to focus on the positive. You may have been through a lot in the recent past. You may have been struggling with conflicting emotions and even feelings of anger, learning how to deal with your anger. You know, maybe you felt in the past that you weren't treated fairly, or there was something that you were just angry about, or not getting your needs met in a relationship caused you to be angry. So you're still kind of healing with the Four of Swords. You know, you're needing to rest, and maybe you've pulled back from socializing a little bit, feeling like you need to recharge. You know, you're just not really wanting to deal with people. But in July, that's going to change. You're going to come out of this period of hibernation because something new is on the horizon. Something exciting, something that's going to wake you up and give you your enthusiasm again for life. You know, you might have been hibernating, you know, licking your wounds or kind of healing or resting after a period of hard work, after a period of trauma. You know, maybe you were overworking yourself and your body, you know, it was affecting your health and you need to take it easy. You need to rest and nurture yourself. You could have been involved in some type of separation or breakup and you're still recovering from that. This could be a person that could help you. If this is a romantic partner, this person is very serious. They don't mess around. They're not a player. But they are fair, even though they seem harsh at times and they seem hard to reach. Because they don't wear their heart on their sleeve. They're not, you know, there are some people that are always telling you, you know, you always know where you stand with them. With the King of Swords, you don't really know where you stand with the King of Swords. They're kind of mysterious. They're kind of aloof. But Aquarius is a little bit like that too. You know, you're more comfortable with friendship than you are with romance. You're not comfortable with that emotion, with expressing your emotions, sharing your emotions. So, you know, you may come across sometimes as unapproachable. So maybe you need to drop your guard a little bit and show people you do have love. You have the capability to love. And you do have the ability to connect with someone on a deep level. But you have this wall up sometimes that keeps people away. So maybe you need to drop that seriousness and show your fun side in July. Be more social. Be more approachable. You have the Nine of Cups here in the wish fulfillment. The Nine of Cups, you have a dream or a goal that you're wanting to achieve, and the Nine can give it to you. The key to bringing it to you, though, is your thoughts. Your thoughts create your reality. You have to focus your thoughts and visualize a positive outcome. See your, you know, create your world. This is a card of manifestation through the power of thought and positive thinking. It's not just thinking, though, because you do have the skills. But having the skills without faith that you can achieve something won't bring you what you need. You have to have both. You have to use the power of thought, use your natural given talent, and focus on a positive outcome, or the outcome that you want to see happen. And you will be surprised how quickly it manifests once you're on that wavelength. Once you're vibrating, kind of. Because your thoughts create, you know, you envision something, you see it in your mind. That's like the blueprint for reality. And then as you focus it mentally, it affects your behavior. And so it's like a chain, a domino effect. And so then your behavior agrees with what you have in your head, and you just start acting and manifesting it, taking action, making it happen. So you're going to be making things happen in July. And you're going to be happy with the outcome. You're going to be planting seeds. You have the Seven of Pentacles here. That's a card of planting seeds and waiting to see how they're going to grow. Waiting to see what the result is going to be. And it may not... I feel like this is just the beginning. You're on the edge of a new time, a new cycle. And so make sure that the seeds that you plant are positive. You know, anticipate the best. Plant seeds of hope. Plant seeds of success. Visualize everything working out the way you want it to. Don't plant seeds of doubt and despair and fear. So if you take the positive approach, you will be surprised at how close you come to creating, to having your wish fulfilled, to creating a life that you're really happy with. So let's see what the astrology has to say. So the new moon is in your 6th house, and Pluto is in the 12th house. So you are going through psychological changes that are also, this new beginning in the 6th house could be a new beginning in the way the 6th house has to do with employment, but also health. So you could be starting a new health regimen that's going to really be successful. It's going to transform your life. It could be, it'll transform you both in your physical, you'll feel better, and also mentally, because you have Pluto in the 12th house. Pluto is dredging the swamp of your subconscious, and it's bringing things up that you need to deal with. Bringing things up from the past, bringing things up that have been a blind spot. Maybe you've been blind to certain things. Pluto is going to bring that up, especially around the full moon. And it's a good time to go through counseling, actually. If you're thinking about it, I mean, it would be a good time to go through some type of counseling to help you heal from the past, heal from any psychological blocks that have been standing in the way of your success, standing in the way of your happiness. Because we self-sabotage sometimes without even realizing it. If you have any anger issues that you haven't dealt with from the past, now would be a good time to confront that and release it. And so you could start this new cycle fresh. Taking care of your health. You have Venus in the 8th house. There's a grand Earth trine. Venus in the 8th in Virgo. Saturn in Capricorn in the 12th. And Uranus in the 4th. Uranus is going to be shaking your home life up. You might feel like moving. If you're not moving into a new location, you might be wanting to fix up your current house. Change it so that it feels, it fits you better. For a lot of you, though, when Uranus hits the 4th house, you feel this restless energy, like you want to live in a different place. You want to be somewhere else. So you might be, selling a house, moving to another house. You may have already done that with the 8 of Cups. If you haven't moved already, when Uranus is going to be there for 7 years, by the end of that time, your home will be very much different. You'll either be living in a new location, a new place, or your existing residence will be changed very much. Maybe you'll redecorate. But the 4th house is also, it speaks to your childhood, and it speaks to the end of your life. With Uranus there, it's shaking up things. It's kind of dredging up the past so that you could be free from any kind of childhood wounds. And so this is a good time for a new beginning, where you're dealing with those issues and you're releasing anything that's been holding you back. Things may happen suddenly, surprises, and when things happen, it's going to be quick action. So if you're selling a home, a buyer could come up out of nowhere. All of a sudden you have to move, especially with these eclipses. They kind of push up the timetable. So you could be offered a job and suddenly you have to move to a new location. Or you could be meeting someone, you're in a relationship, it takes a turn in a new direction, and you're having to move really quickly. Either you're going to be moving in with someone, or someone's moving in with you, or it's just change is going to be happening in July. But the changes are good. It's not something to be feared. And Aquarius is okay with change. You're excited by change. You're not, even though you're a fixed sign, and sometimes fixed signs can be stubborn and resistant. They have their opinions and they're very, firm with that. You're okay with innovation. You're okay with stirring things up. because Uranus is your ruling planet. Uranus and Saturn. And Uranus now in Taurus is going to be challenging you. It's going to be shaking you up out of any complacency. If you've gotten too stuck in your ways, or too comfortable clinging to the past, or clinging to something that's no longer serving you, Uranus is going to come around to free you. It's giving you that opportunity. So it's a challenge. It's testing you. It's testing, and it's going to free you from anything that's been holding you back. And this grand Earth trine, which involves your 8th house, which is Venus in the 8th, is going to can bring money in. It could have to do with banks, getting a business loan, or real estate, or taxes, or even inheritance. It's going to bring money in. The 8th house has to do with a partner's income. So if you're with someone, they could have some type of windfall. They could get some type of a new job and they're bringing new money in. Or they could get an inheritance. There's just money coming with Venus in the 8th. Saturn in the 12th, you've got Pluto and Saturn in the 12th. So it's a clearing out time. Saturn is a planet of karma. And the 12th house is the unconscious. It's the end of a cycle. It's time to really, you might be feeling, with Saturn in the 12th and Pluto, that you're going through a cycle where something is ending in your life. Some cycle that you've lived for a long time, some way of life that's been part of you for a long time is coming to an end. It's time to clear out, clear the decks and prepare for a new beginning. Because Uranus wants you to be living authentically and free, and to be free to be yourself without the baggage. You have to drop the bags and clear out the past and heal from the past. Release old karma, finish up old karma, so that you can embrace this new beginning that will bring you to a better place where you'll be a lot more, you'll be happier. It'll be a better fit. The full moon in Aquarius, in your signs, in your 1st house. The sun is in your 7th house. So something is coming to culmination within a relationship or a partnership. You could be finishing some project at work, but you could also be committing to a relationship. You could be reaching, for better or for worse. So for some cases, some people will be moving in. You might decide, well, I want to commit to this relationship. Let's move in together, because you have Uranus in the 4th house. Anything can happen with Uranus. People moving in, people moving out. Some of you may want to end a relationship if it's been stifling you, if it's been restricting you. Venus is opposed Neptune. Neptune's now in your 2nd house. So you want to be careful around issues of money. Make sure that if you're signing any contracts in August or July, especially with Mercury going retrograde, make sure that you're checking all the details. So if you're selling a house, read all the fine print. Make sure you're going to get exactly what's being promised you. Venus is also trining Pluto. So there could be a relationship that really, Venus in the 8th, not only is it Venus is money and love, but the 8th house is the house of intimacy. It's the house of sharing at the soul level. And Venus trining Pluto, there could be a relationship that really transforms your life in some way. And it's like you're ready for intimacy, you're ready to go deep. And but to do that, before you can do that, because Pluto's in the 12th house, you have these 2 major heavy-hitting planets in the 12th house. You have to release the past. You have to clear up, drop the baggage from the past. The other way that Venus can work is working on your self-esteem. You know, what do you value? Neptune in the second, you could be making money through some type of creativity. There could be an art project or a creative project. Maybe you're tapping. It could be that new love is inspiring you to be more creative. So you could be expressing yourself more through some type of creativity. Because Neptune in the second, Venus in the eighth, so some creative project can be bringing in money now. In any case, the full moon usually, and this is eclipses. So things may, you know, people and situations can be eclipsed from your life suddenly. So with the solar eclipse in Cancer, it could be a male figure. With the lunar eclipse, it could be a female figure. So it's almost like you have to, like, if you've been holding on to something, or people or things, maybe it's time that they might just like leave your life so that you are free to embrace the new. When the full moon, usually things come to the surface. Things come into your awareness at the full moon. So if there was something that you weren't aware of, or some truth that was hidden, it will come to light. And that could be just enlightenment in your own self, like realizing, hey, I've got to make some changes. But it looks good. It looks that, I mean, you are going to be working toward fulfilling a goal. The only thing is that right now, with Mars retrograde and Mercury going retrograde, you don't want to rush into anything. So just take your time. Enjoy the new beginnings. There could be some unexpected surprises with Uranus in relation to a house or a home. So, you know, it could be a situation where you have to move suddenly, or you have to change, make some changes really quickly because of something that comes up. But at the same time, it's very exciting with the Fool. It's a new beginning, a new chapter in your life. So don't be afraid to embrace the new, and don't be afraid to let go of the past. Let go of, you know, if an old cycle is ending, let it end, let it fade away. And clear the decks for the new. Because the new is going to be much more fulfilling. It's going to free you to be more alive and truer to who you are. You're going to be okay. I think it's going to be an exciting time. It could be an exciting time if you're open to change and you're open to the new. Because you've been working on yourself. You're going to be going through some major changes, major transformations, but in a good way. So this was my forecast for July, Aquarius. I hope this has been a help to you. And if you'd like to have a private reading, you can look at the link in the description box. That will take you to my website, and we can get you on the schedule. In the meantime, have a wonderful July, and enjoy these new beginnings that are coming your way. You're going to be, it's the beginning of a new life. So much love and luck and success to you, and I will talk to you again next month. Okay, bye now.